Hi, I am Ashra. I am a student of Metropolitan College. This is my Foundation Computing presentation. Let's start with first understanding internal components and functions of a central processing unit. What is CPU in a computer? A central processing unit or CPU is an electronic machine. The CPU, also called a central processor, is the brain of a computer. All the processing unit is done by the CPU in the computer. The CPU is constantly following instructions from a computer program that tell it what data to do and how to do it. Without a CPU, no program could run on a computer. But all this is possible only because the component present in the CPU divide the work and process it quickly to achieve the desired result. Let's see the internal components of a CPU. There are various internal parts of a CPU, which are ALU, control units, registers, cache, buzzers, and clock. Arithmetic and logical unit, also known as ALU, is responsible for arithmetic logic calculations and decision making within the system. It acts as a bridge between a computer's primary and secondary storage. All information exchanged between primary and secondary storage passes through the ALU. ALUs are used for addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, comparison of two numbers, and Boolean operations. Control unit, also known as CU, is the part of a computer that controls all the activities of the computer system. It also controls and communicates with ALU, input or output devices, primary and secondary storage devices. Control units controls the operation of computer system based on the instruction in the program by executing them in the proper order. Register are small and high-speed memory inside the CPU, which is used to store the instruction temporarily to provide the processor with the instruction at time of need. These registers are also called processor registers because they play an important role in data processing. Cache. The cache memory is the smallest and high-speed memory that the CPU can access. It is a type of random access memory that temporarily stores small amount of data and instruction that can be reused as needed. Cache memory reduces the time it takes to fetch and execute instructions. Buzzers. A bus is the connection between the various components of a computer system and the processor. They are used to send signals and data from the processor to various devices at very high speed. There are three types of the buses, which names are address buses, data buses, and control buses. Clocks control the timing and speed of the function of various components of the CPU. It sends out electrical signals which regulate the timing and speed of the function. Now we are going to explain the functions of CPU. There are four functions of CPU, which are fetch, decode, execute, and store. Fetch is the operation which receives instructions from program memory from a system RAM. Decode is where the instruction is converted to understand which other parts of the CPU are needed to continue the operation. This is performed by the instruction decoder. Execute, where the operation is performed, each part of the CPU that is needed is activated to carry out the instructions. This could be many things, including loading data from memory, storing data in memory, or performing a calculation. Store, pass to an output device or save to a computer system or secondary storage device or the storage device or the user's direction. Here we are going to see the computer hardware components how work together. Each of the hardware components of a computer has a specific task to perform, and they all work together to operate the computer. Microprocessor, it is often known simply as a processor or a central processing unit. A microprocessor is the central unit of a computer system that performs arithmetic and logical operations, generally including adding, subtracting, and transferring numbers from one ring to another, and comparing two numbers too. A microprocessor accepts binary data as input, processes that data, and then provides output based on the instructions stored in the memory. Motherboard. A motherboard is the central circuit board. It connects all the parts of a computer together. both internal and external exponents of the computer using various slots and ports, and it allows them to communicate with one another. Random access memory, also known as RAM, is a short-term memory that the computer uses wherever it is performing calculation. We can't store files there because the RAM is cleared when you shut off the computer. The network interface card, also known as the sound card. The sound card, also known as audio card, is a peripheral that plugs into an ISA or PCA slot, a motherboard, and allows computer to input, process, and deliver sound. The network interface card, also known as NIC. NIC is used to connect various network devices such as computers and servers to share data over the connected networks. The NIC is important for establishing a wired or wireless connection over a network. Last one is cooling fan. A cooling fan is a system in a computer that keeps it from overheating. Many computers have multiple fans to help those who use the computer frequently. Here I am going to explain the different types of storage media. A storage media is a piece of hardware which will hold the data when the computer powered off. There are three types of storage media: magnetic storage media, optical storage media, and flash memory. The first things we are going to see is magnetic storage device. The most commonly used storage device in today's time are magnetic storage media. These are affordable and easily accessible. A large amount of data can be stored in these two magnetized medium. There are some examples for magnetized storage media, which are floppy disk, hard drive, zip disk, and magnetic stripe. Floppy disk, also known as a floppy diskette, it is a removable storage device which is in the shape of a square and comprises magnetic elements. Hard drive. This is primary storage device directly attached to the motherboard's disk controller. It is integral storage space as it is required to install any new program or application to the device. Zip disk, introduced by Lomega, is a removable storage device. Magnetic stripe is attached in the device comprising digital data. The most suitable example for this is a debit card which has a stripe placed on one of its sides which stores the digital data. Optical storage. Such devices use lasers and lights to detect and store data. They are cheaper in comparison to USB drives and can store more data. There are some examples for optical storage, which are CD-ROM, DVD-ROM, and Blu-ray disc. CD-ROM, this stands for compact disc read-only memory and is an external device which can store and read data in the form of audio or software data. DVD, digital versatile disc, is another type of optical storage media. It can be readable, recordable, and rewritable. Recordings can be done in such devices and then can be attached to the system. Blu-ray disc, introduced in 2006. Blu-ray disc was backup up by major IT and computer companies. The next media is flash memory. These storage devices have now replaced both magnetic and optical storage devices. They are easy to use, portable, and easily available and accessible. They have become a cheaper and more convenient option to store data. There are some examples for flash memory storage, which are USB drive or pen drive, memory card, and memory stick. USB drive, also known as pen drive, the storage device is small in size and it's portable and ranges between storage space of 2 GB to 1 TB. Memory card, usually attached with small electronic and computerized devices like mobile phones or digital camera. A memory card can be used to store images, videos, and audios and is compatible and small in size. Memory stick. Originally launched by Sony, a memory stick can store more data and is easy and quick to transfer data using the storage devices. Later on, various other versions of memory stock were also released. Now I am going to explain how data is represented in computer system. Computer programs are set of instructions. Each instruction is translated into machine code, simple binary codes that activate the CPU. Programmers write computer code and this is converted by a translator into binary instruction that the processor can execute. All software, music, documents and any other information that is processed by a computer is also stored using binary. Representing numbers. A number system is a technique for representing numbers in computer system architectures. Every value you store or retrieve in your computer's memory has a defined number system. A number system has its own base which depends on the number of symbols. The number of symbols used in a number system is called the base of the number system. Computers use a binary base 2 numbering system because they consist of binary digital components called transistors that operate in two states, on and off. In computing, we also use the hexadecimal base 16 or octal base 8 number system as compact forms of representing binary numbers. There are 4 types of number systems, which are binary number system, octal number system, decimal number system and hexadecimal number system. Binary number system, it has only 2 digits which are 0 and 1. Base is 2. Octal number system, it has 8 digits. Every number value represents with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. The base of the octal number system is 8. Decimal number system, it has 10 digits and the base is 10. Hexadecimal number system, it has 16 alphanumeric values from 0 to 9 and A to F. The base is 16. Now representing text. There are different methods to represent characters, which are ASCII and Unicode. ASCII, which stands for American Standard Code for Information in Change, uses 7 bytes to represent each character in computer memory. ASCII is based on a simple idea of using numbers to represent text data on computers and the internet. Standard ASCII encoded data has 128 alphanumeric or special additional characters and unique values for control code. The second one is Unicode. Unicode is a worldwide character encoding standard for text representation in computer processing. It uses 16 bytes and provides 65,000 characters. Here I am going to explain how encryption can be used to represent data. Data encryption is a method of converting data from ordinary information called plain text unencrypted to unintelligible information called ciphertext encrypted. Converting encrypted data back to its original form is called decryption. This is basically the reverse process of encryption. Users can access encrypted data using the encryption key and decrypted data using the decryption key. The purpose of data encryption is to protect the confidentiality of digital data as it is stored in the computer system and transmitted over the internet and other computer networks. Encryption is important to process sensitive information of individual and business from hacking. For example, websites that transmit credit card or bank account numbers encrypt this information to help prevent identity theft and fraud. There are 2 types of encryption, which are asymmetric encryption, symmetric encryption. What is asymmetric encryption? It uses 2 different keys known as private key and public key for the encryption and decryption processes. It is more secure than the symmetric key encryption technique but is much slower. Example for asymmetric encryption: Diffie-Hellman, ECC, EI-Gemmell, DSA and RSA. What is symmetric encryption? The message is encrypted and decrypted by the same key, which makes it easy to use but less secure. The encryption process is very fast. Example 3DES, AES, DES and RC4. Our next topic is how images and sounds are represented in computer. First, see how images are representing in computer system. Images are made up of tiny dots called pixels, with every pixel being represented in binary. A black and white picture need only 1 byte per pixel, as 1 represents black, 0 represents white. The type of data that is used to provide information such as dimensions and the resolutions of an image is called metadata. Computer needs metadata to know the size of an image. If the metadata for the image to be created is 10 by 10, this means the picture will be 10 pixel across and 10 pixel down. In color images, each pixel is represented by three binary values, one for each of red, green and blue colors. The number of pixels in each image determines its resolution. Higher resolutions mean higher number of pixels and better quality. Another factor of image representation is color depth, which is the number of bytes that are used to represent each color. If each pixel is represented by 2 bytes, then each pixel can be one of 4 colors, corresponding to 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 or 1, 1. Modern computers have a 24-byte color depth, 3 bytes per pixel, hence 16 million different colors can be represented. Increasing or decreasing color depth decreases file size and quality accordingly. Now see how sounds are represented in computer system. Sounds can also be represented by binary just text. Since sound is an analog quantity, it has to be converted into digital code before the computer can process it. Sound is recorded through microphone and software ADC will convert into digital format by recording amplitude as specific time intervals. This is known as sound sampling. The number of bytes used to record each sample is known as sampling resolutions or byte depth. The number of samples taken in a second is called the sample rate. Higher the sample rate, higher is the accuracy of recorded sound. It is measured in hertz. 1 hertz is 1 sample per second. If sampling rate or resolution is too low, the sound quality will be impaired. Most video clips are recorded at 44.1 kHz with 16 byte sampling rate, which is suitable for listening while keeping the file at manageable size for storage. Let's see how compression can aid the storage of data, images or sounds. Why compress file? Processing power and storage capacity are very important for computers. Getting the most out of both means the text, images and audio data must be small in file size for faster transfer and less storage spaces required. Additionally, it takes a very long time to download or upload large files, so web pages, songs and videos take a long time to load and play when you are on the internet. Compression addresses these issues. Any types of data can be compressed. There are two main types of compression: lossy compression and lossless compression. Lossy compression removes some of the original data from a file in order to reduce the file size. This means reducing the number of colors in images and the number of samples in sound files. This may slightly degrade the quality of your image or audio file. The most common example of lossy compression method for image is JPEG. This compression format commonly used on the internet and digital photography. A popular loosely compression method for sound is MP3. Once a file compressed using loosely compression, the discarded data cannot be retrieved again. Lossless compression doesn't reduce the file quality at all. Lossless compression ensures that files can be restored exactly as they were originally created, as no data is lost. Example, financial data. There are different algorithms for this, usually looking for repeating patterns in the data. Zip files are an example of lossless compression. One of the most common lossless compression format of image is PNG. This is a widely used format that reduces file size by identifying patterns and compressing those patterns together. GIF, RAW, and BMP are some lossless format of image. Lossless compression method for sound is WAV and FLAC. Our next topic is the purpose of logic gates. In order to efficiently interpret and transmit the required digital messages, computer system must manipulate electrical currents in and out of circuits. This is accomplished using devices called logic gates. Most electronic devices we use today have some kind of logic gates built into them. For example, logic gates can be used in technologies such as smartphones, tablets, or storage devices. Logic gates are the electronic circuit which consist of one or more inputs and one input. It is based on Boolean algebra. At any given time, each terminal can be in one of two binary states, false or true. False represents 0 and true represents 1. When we interconnect or cascade these logic gates, then it is possible to perform various logical operations, and using these logic gates even it is possible to build the processor. AND gate, OR gate and the NOT gate are the very basic type of logic gates. Any Boolean functions can be built by using these three gates. Apart from that, there are two universal gates which are NAND and NOR. It is possible to build any logic circuit or Boolean function with using these gates. There are two more gates, that is XOR gate and XNOR gate. This chart shows the summary of basic logic gates. Here you can see the logic symbol and truth tables of each gates. AND gate, inputs A and B must be high for output Y to be high. OR gate, inputs A or B must be high for output Y to be high, and if both inputs are high, then output Y is also high. Inverter, if input A is high, then output Y will be low, and if input A is low, then output Y will be high. NAND gate, if any of the two input is low or both inputs are low, in that case this output Y will be 0. Whenever this input is passed through the NOT gate, then it will get inverted. Output of this NOT gate will be 1. NOR gate, if a NOT gate is added to the output of an OR gate, then the output of these new gates will be opposite of the original OR gate. The purpose of different types of computer network. Let's understand the term of computer network. A computer network is an arrangement between two or more computers to share resources and information them. Here, resources can be printers, scanners, or any other devices. There are many ways to connect two or more computers together. Networks in computers can be classified based on their size and the purpose. There are PAN, LAN, MAN, and WAN. Personal area networks, also known as PAN, are small networks built around individuals, which is typically set up to share resources within a personal computer, such as wireless, keyboard, and mouse, wireless printers, scanners, and more. PANs can typically be installed within a range of about 10 meters. Examples of PAN are USB, computer, printer, phone, tablet, PDC, and etc. Local area network, also known as LAN, is a group of computers connected in a small area. A LAN contains two or more computers connected through a server. The two main technologies involved in this network are Ethernet and Wi-Fi. LANs can typically be installed within a range of about 100 meters. Various devices on a LAN are connected to a central device called a hub or switch. A LAN can be wired, wireless, or both installed at the same time. Examples of LAN are networking in a computer, school, library, laboratory, college, office, and etc. Metropolitan Area Network, also known as MAN, is larger than a LAN and smaller than a WAN. It is a type of computer network that connects computers in geographically disappeared location over a common communication path in a city, town, or metropolitan area. MANs can typically be installed within a range of about 50 kilometers. Many companies use this technology to distribute internet over a city. MAN uses high-capacity fiber optics to provide increased speed. Examples of MAN are networking in towns, cities, a single large city, large area within multiple buildings, and etc. WAN, also known as Wide Area Network, is a type of computer network that connects computers in geographically disappeared locations through a common communication path. Billions of computers connected through WAN. A WAN can also be defined as a set of local area networks that communicate with each other. Prime examples of WAN network is Internet. Here I am going to explain the hardware, software, and transmission media used in computer networks. Hardware used in computer network. Network hardware, also known as computer networking devices, are electronic devices which are essential to the interaction and communication between hardware units operating on a computer network. These are dedicated, interconnected hardware components that allow the network to function effectively and efficiently. Computer networking devices are linked each other through wire or wireless connection medium. Computer networks contain many network hardware devices which are network interface card, hub, modem, switches, router, bridges, repeater, gateways, client, and server. Software used in computer network. Network software is the high-level element that instructs all network components to perform their tasks together. Computer networks require far too many software components to organize a network structure at home or elsewhere. All mentioned below. Administrations and security personnel can reduce network complexity and more effectively manage, monitor, and control network traffic. Protocols in computer network. A network protocol is a set of specified rules that govern how data can be easily and reliably exchanged between multiple computers. The primary purpose of using protocol is to transmit and receive data over networks. Here some common protocols are TCP/IP transmission control, protocols or Internet Protocol, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, File Transfer Protocol, Point-to-Point Protocol, Secure Shell, and Telecommunication Network. Transmission media used in computer network. A connection medium is a convenient way in which electrical signals flow as transmission from one end devices to another end devices over a network. Guided media, also known as wired or bounded media. These media consist of wires through which the data is transferred. Guided media is a physical link between transmitter and recipient devices. Also known as unbounded or wireless media, they help in transmitting electromagnetic signals without using a physical medium. Here, air is the medium. There is no physical connectivity between transmitter and receiver. These types of transmission media are used for longer distances, however they are less secure than guided media. Our next topic is World Wide Web technologies. The WWW, also called as World Wide Web, is commonly known as the web. WWW refers to all the interconnected HTML web pages that can be accessed over the internet. There are a set of programs, standards, and protocols that allow the multimedia and hypertext files to be created, displayed, and linked on the internet. There are three components of the web. Uniform Resource Locator, also known as URL, serves as a system for resources on the web. Hypertext Transfer Protocol, also known as HTTP, specifies communication of browser and server. The third one is Hypertext Markup Language, also known as HTML, defines the structure, organization, and content of a web page. The purpose of different type of computer network topology. The arrangement of topologies that represent how the components are connected to each other is known as topology. There are five types of topology, which are bus topology, ring topology, star topology, tree topology, and mesh topology. Bus topology. In bus topology, there is a backbone cable and all the devices are connected to this backbone cable through drop lines. Since all the data is transmitted over the main cable, there is a limit of drop lines and the distance a main cable can have. When a sender sends a message, all other computers can hear it, but only the receiver accepts it, checks the MAC addresses associated with the data frame, and other computers reject it. Bus technology is mainly suitable for small networks such as LANs. Data is only sent in one direction and terminator removes the data from the communication line when it reaches the end to prevent signals bounces and interruptions in data flow. The next one is ring topology. In ring topology, each device is connected with the two devices on either side of it. This structure forms a ring bus. This structure forms a ring, thus it is known as ring topology. Each device in ring topology has a repeater. If a device wants to send data to another device, then it sends the data in one direction. If device 1 wants to send data to device 4, it first sends the data to device 2. If the received data intended for other device, then repeater forwards this data until device 5 receives it. Until the data 4 receives it. Ring network topologies are used when a simple network is needed. For example, a small office with only a few nodes may use a ring network topology. In star topology, each device in the network is connected to a central device called hub. The devices can't communicate directly. They can communicate with other devices through the hub. Hub and switch act as a server and other connected devices act as clients. This topology is better in terms of security because the data doesn't pass through every node, for example high-speed LAN and etc. Tree topology. In tree topology, all the nodes are connected like a branches of tree. The combination of bus and star topology is called tree topology. Tree topologies are commonly used in homes and small offices to connect multiple devices such as printers and computers. Tree topologies are often used to create bus networks where each device is connected to a central server. Tree topologies can also be used to create a star network with each device connected to a central hub. Star networks are commonly used in large office buildings or campuses where every device must be able to communicate with every other device on the network. For example, tree topologies are often used to organize information in computer and databases on corporate network. Mesh topology. In mesh topology, each device is connected to every other device on the network through a dedicated point-to-point link. If there are n devices in the network, then each device must be connected with n-1 devices of the network. There are mainly two types of mesh. A fully mesh network mapping is one that has all nodes connected to all other nodes, whereas a partially mesh network will have only one node with multiple connections with others. Meshing multiple paths improves network resiliency. However, more space is needed for dedicated links and involves high cost.